Okay. Welcome to the podcast. Cracking the egg or something. I don't know. I'll figure out a name later. Comment down below if you want a name for this. I talk about issues and LGBTQ things that I just want to talk about. And pronouns are kind of hard, honestly. Like, you have to put a label, this big label on yourself and fit into every single box that has been assigned when those words might not really explain what you are. Anyone else felt like that? Because I've been feeling like that quite a lot throughout my journey, my gender journey. Especially as someone who's non-binary, and that kind of thing doesn't really fit the traditional trans man, trans woman. And honestly, I've gotten a lot more shit because people don't know that that non-binary is a part of being trans, but that is an entirely different topic. But when it comes to the pronoun thing, I think the best thing that's actually helped me personally is to experiment. I went from identifying as trans to identifying as non-binary and then non-binary slash agender, which I'm still not even sure about because gender is very fluid and I struggle already with self-identity, so what I feel will be very hard to put into words. But right now I feel like that might be the best way to describe me. I do use they them, and I'm not opposed to people using neopronouns to me. But the entire topic of neopronouns seemed to be such a weird one. I don't want to go too much into anything negative right now, but I will say that I generally don't think neopronouns is harmful. And I think it's very nice to have for someone who like me, don't feel like the typical pronouns very much suits you or explains who you are. And also it's felt kind of confusing going through that entire process and seeing people's differentiating opinions on the topics. But regardless of that, I went by he, they, then I went they, them, it, and then I went back to they, them because of the neopronoun thing. And it is so confusing. I feel like I'm treating it like buying Pokemon cards. Every other week I have a new fucking thing. But in all honesty, it's been very confusing, but I don't mind it because honestly, whatever happens in the end, I'm gonna be comfortable with myself, hopefully. And I think what's also helped me is having the friends I have who are insanely, insanely kind to me when it came to the pronoun thing. I mean, it's a lot to learn, and you're putting a scary label on yourself. At least I find it kind of scary, to be honest. I don't know about other people, but I find it scary, and you might too. Pronouns are weird. It's an odd thing, and I personally think that it can be quite scary to put such a label on yourself. But it's gonna be okay. Oh, the rain. I love the rain. I love the rain in Minecraft. It's so calming. Just listening to this in the background as you're doing work or something like that, I don't know. But another topic that I also thought about when it came to doing this podcast thing, which is more experimental, let me know if you guys want more of those, is the gender, or lack of gender. Now, I am a furry. I've always been very honest about being a furry. And you? Okay. Always been honest about being a furry and being part of the fur community, even though I don't interact with it a lot because I'm very scared of interacting with people. It feels very weird to put myself in a gender label, and I've found out that my gender can correlate with being furry, but it can also not. And how I draw myself is very masculine, but it's also very androgynous, and how I draw myself is the closest thing I'll ever feel to looking like myself. I don't think I've spoken about before, but Kate is actually a persona and a representation of me as also his own character, but that's a separate discussion, where he's the closest thing to what I believe and feel on the inside, shown as a character. And I find it very funny because sometimes people look at Cade and they say, oh yeah, that's the persona this person wears, and oh, Mo is directly correlated to Cade, and then I had to sit down and be like, it is also their own character. When I post about them missing their wife, that is not me missing my wife. I don't have a wife. I don't have a wife, I promise. I promise I don't have a wife. And I also don't have a black cat or supernatural powers. I swear. But I don't know if it's a correlation for people with personas to have their gender be kind of more based on the persona rather than a simple label. And I don't know if that's something that a lot of people go through. But the entire thing of like wrapping it together with pronouns and gender and all of that sort of thing can be very confusing, but my journey is still not done. I don't feel like my journey is still done. I am in the process of getting HRT, healthcare, general tips. In 3 days I'm actually going to my last therapy session, quote unquote. They call it therapy, but it's not really, I don't know if it's therapy or not. I don't like the word therapy used for gender LGBTQ stuff. And then I'll be maybe referred, and I might be able to ask people and talk to people, maybe get HRT. And to be honest, it's really scary, but it's been really affirming to see other people who are in the situation I'm in and have understanding from people who see eye to eye with me and feel happy and have a goal and feel like they have something to live for. And it makes me really happy and really scared at the same time, because HRT was always put to the use of, oh yeah, it's only for trans people, it's only for people who are trans, and you have to transition completely, fully, instead of this could help you have be more affirmed with your gender. And I'm excited, but I'm also very scared of what will happen. But yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comments below. I hope this little rant about LGBTQ things made your mind at ease. You're valid, you're loved, and you're cared about. And have a good night.